Hey guys, what's up? My name is Sharoona and I've been living in Japan for more than 2 years now. And what I'm going to share with you today is my personal experience of renting a house through a real estate agency in Japan. There might be a possibility that you've seen different vlogs before or videos or articles where people might have different experiences because it really depends where you are renting a house. Is it a house or is it an apartment? Is it countryside, city? Things could be different, but what I'm going to share with you today is kind of applies, it doesn't matter where you live, it kind of applies like generally everywhere. So without wasting time, let's get into it. So when you go to a real estate agency in Japan, they will assign a realtor or an agent who will show you different properties and houses and apartments around. Take your time because there are no charges for it. Keep looking for a place that you really like, because if you rent a house and you don't like that property after a month or so, renting a house in Japan is very expensive. There's so many additional charges and fees that I'll talk about it later, that you'll be like, oh man, why did I rent this house? So take your time until and unless you are satisfied. Before you do anything, signing contract or talking about like you like this house or anything, take pictures of every corner of that house. Because the thing is, if there's something that was there and you notice that, but you're like, oh, this is just like a dot of a pencil and nobody notices that and it's like so insignificant, that is very important. Take a picture of that, because when you leave the house, they send this person who does some kind of inspection of the house. He's gonna charge you crazy amount of money for that small dot, because this is what happened with me. When I was leaving the house that I rented, they charged me $700 for like things that were there actually, honestly, because there were these small dots that I was like, oh, that's nothing, but that is something. Also, they send you a list of like things that are in the house and you are supposed to check them. Like, oh, I checked the doorknobs, the toilet is okay. If you feel like there's something that is like a little bit, like slightly abnormal, take a picture of that, mention that in paper so that they don't charge you when you're leaving the house. $700, man, that was like huge. And I was like, what are you talking about, bro? Anyways, I made that mistake and I hope you can save your $700. When you go to a real estate agency or check their website, you will see that they have these printouts, or on the website you can see like the rent of the house is $500 and you're like, oh, I can afford that. That's really reasonable. But remember, there are lots and lots of additional charges with that when you are signing the contract. I'm talking about the first month when you are entering the house. Especially if you're a student or this is going to be your first salary, you're moving to Japan after your graduation, your budget is tight, right? In my case, my house, the rent was $500, but for the first month, they had like this charges and that additional fee, and they made a bill of $2,000. So with the $500, I paid another additional $1,500. Which can also vary from place to place. There could be like places that might charge you more money. There is some things that you can do, because when they give you this paper to sign, they have certain things that are optional. If you have a friend who can speak Japanese, can read Japanese, bring that friend with you, see the things that are optional and they are just trying to sell you in a very hidden way. Tell them that you don't want them. Then that might save you some money. So now you move to the house, you move to the country that you always wanted to work in or live in or study in, Japan. Yeah, you're excited about it and you want to decorate your house. Don't do it. The reason why I say that is because, as some of you know, that Japan is known for its cleanliness, and the way they throw their trash is a very organized way. So you cannot just put or leave a chair outside because you don't want to use it and you feel like, oh, I can put this chair outside and somebody can take it. It doesn't work that way. You have to pay extra money for that so that these special people will come and they will pick up the chair. Recently, my wife and I, we got a new washing machine and we want to throw our old sofa. The company that we tried to contact, they were saying they're going to charge $200 to pick it up, which is a perfectly fine washing machine, but they don't want to take it. We tried to give it for free to people, but nobody want to take it because they know throwing it away later, it's going to be very, very expensive. So I would suggest live a life of a minimalist. Okay, the point that I want to share with you now is something that you're going to thank me all your life, and not only you, but your generations to come. Do not live on the ground floor or in the middle. Tell the realtor, I want to live on the top floor. In Japan, a lot of houses are made of wood, and the wood or the walls are very thin. If you're living on the ground floor in the middle, you can hear so much sound from the ceiling when people walk around. I sleep every day at 12 around it, and even sometimes 12:30, and I wake up at 4:30 in the morning. So I have a very short period of time where I sleep and I'm like really, really tired. I love my sleeping time and I want to enjoy that to its best. So I was like, it's not gonna bother me because once I'm out, I can't hear anything. But no, it's not like that. These houses, because the walls and ceiling is so thin, like when there's a phone vibrating on the top, you can see the whole house vibrating. When people walk around, and if let's say if somebody jumps, it's like literally somebody just dropped a bomb on you and you just wake up and then you can't go back to sleep. It's not only with me or non-Japanese people living in Japan. I heard a lot of stories, but even my Japanese friends told me the same thing. Like, this is a big issue. A lot of times there are huge fights because of that. So you don't want to get involved into it. So make sure and try your best to find a house that's on the top, not in the middle or on the ground floor. Try not to rent a house that's very old. I've been living in Japan for more than 2 years, like I mentioned before. And when I came to Japan, I could feel some earthquakes in Japan that were scary, some were not scary. I'm kind of like used to earthquakes now. But recently I realized those earthquakes, the intensity is getting stronger and stronger. Like last month, I think there was an earthquake. It just scared the hell out of me. It was really, really strong and scary. There were people who died and there was a train that got out of its track. It was that strong. It was really, I could see like my house like literally shaking. So make sure not to rent a house that's like really, really old, because the newest house in Japan have these standards of like the keeping the house safe from earthquakes, and they make it that way. But if it's a very, very old house, like especially I think before 1980s or like 1980 something, that date, before that, the houses did not have that kind of a standard. But after that, they have this standard. You must have certain kind of structure of the house that can prevent or like support the house when there's a very strong earthquake. Also, Japan has a lot of typhoons and strong winds. So when you rent a house, make sure to check that they have these shutters, because those shutters can help the windows, because sometimes things fly and they literally hit your window. But if you have those shutter, you can close it and it's pretty safe. So if you're getting a very old house, the rent would be cheap, but it's dangerous, it's scary. So your life is more important than anything else. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching this video today. I hope this information was helpful. If you have any questions about renting a house in Japan or, moving to Japan and stuff, do let me know that in the comment section below, and I will try my level best to answer you back. And please do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and most importantly, smile. Peace.